Okay, so this video is going to show how to set up a custom SLI profile for Titanfall. The one that I tried, the Half-Life 2 and Batman Arkham Origins one, didn't work. The one you can download from the Google Dropbox or whatever it is, that didn't work. This is the Bioshock Infinite one, and it works really well. It scales pretty good most of the time. Sometimes it's just average scaling, but it's stable. And had no crashes, no frame stuttering or micro stuttering or anything like that. It just ran really well, and it works pretty good for a custom SLI profile. So download Nvidia Inspector if you haven't already. If you don't already have it, and come here, this toolbox here. Open that up. Ignore the kids screaming in the background. Go ahead and type in Titanfall here. Dropbox, select it. Change this to the Bioshock Infinite compatibility bits. It's right there. And then Ambient Occlusion needs to be enabled and set to performance. You just use the Dropbox for that. For this, I set my GPU count to 2 because I have two 780s. You can probably leave that as auto, but I set it and it works. This one needs to be AFR2. Again, just to find it in the Dropbox here. And lastly, oh no, that's it actually. So once you do that, go ahead and apply changes. Everything else to default. Alright, close that out. Okay, open up the control panel just to make sure under manage 3D settings, program settings, Titanfall in the drop down, that you have this set to performance and alternate frame rendering 2 for SLI rendering mode. And I have adaptive Vsync turned on because it helps with screen tearing and locks the frames at 60, which is what I prefer. Triple buffering on. I have two 780s, so I have pretty much everything set to quality for the most part. High settings, I set it to your liking, but you know, if you want to mimic exactly how I have, since this works for me for Titanfall SLI, you go ahead and do that. If you need to just pause and look at it, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, hit apply if you need to. Close it out. And one other thing I wanted to show you is I'm go ahead and turning on and show SLI visual indicator so you can see the scaling. I'm going to start a match. You don't have to watch the whole match, but you can watch it to see how it scales and see that it runs stable, so on and so forth. Anyway, now it's out of the way. Let's go ahead and turn Titanfall on. In the Titanfall video settings, I have everything on max except vertical sync. I have off. I noticed that when in the Nvidia control panel, if I'm using Vsync, the Vsync's turned on, or the adaptive Vsync is turned on in the Nvidia control panel, and turned on in the game's in-game video settings, it tends to run weird. So as you can see, I have everything full screen, widescreen, all that stuff, 1080p, anti-aliasing, and Vsync disabled. Everything else is max, high, insane, so on and so forth.